All right, let's talk about a literary phenomenon. Today, we're breaking down Iron Flame, the absolutely explosive sequel to Fourth Wing, one of the biggest books in, well, recent memory. So the question is, how did it manage to not just follow a global hit, but in a lot of ways, actually surpass it? Let's dive in. And that's the million-dollar question, right? When a book like Fourth Wing just takes the world by storm, the pressure on the sequel is absolutely immense. You're not just continuing a story, you have to meet and somehow exceed these colossal expectations. So how on earth did Iron Flame pull it off? Well, for starters, Iron Flame doesn't just rehash the formula that made the first book a hit. No, it elevates it. It takes everything readers loved and just dials the intensity, the stakes, and the complexity all the way up.
This slide right here, it perfectly captures the massive shift between the two books. Fourth Wing was all about survival. Just making it out alive was the whole game. But Iron Flame pivots to something way more dangerous, the search for truth. And that's a brilliant move because it raises the stakes from just physical danger to a war of ideas, where the cost of finding that truth drives the entire story forward.
So this brings us to the world itself, which, as it turns out, is built on a foundation of lies. The book picks up right where the last one ended, no time to breathe, and the pacing is just relentless. We are thrown straight back into a world where everything you thought you knew is about to get completely shattered.
Yeah, surviving year 2 at Basgiath is a whole different beast. Violet's facing the super harsh new instructor with a hidden agenda, the hostility from other cadets is boiling over, and there are these dark conspiracies swirling around dragons and, well, the venom. The point is, the danger has evolved. It's not just about passing deadly tests anymore. It's about navigating this tangled web of secrets that could bring down the whole kingdom.
And right at the heart of that conspiracy, you've got the venom. They're this dark, mysterious force, and figuring out what they really are is central to the entire plot. Basically, everything the Kingdom of Navarre thinks it knows about its greatest enemy is just a carefully crafted lie.
And this conspiracy isn't just stuck inside the college walls. Oh no, the world building just explodes outward. We start to see the real, manipulated history of Navarre. The politics of the rebellion becomes so much clearer, and we dive way deeper into dragon lore. In short, the entire universe gets bigger, richer, and a whole lot more dangerous.
Of course, a bigger world and sky-high stakes mean the characters have to evolve too. And this intense conflict, it really forges them into something brand new.
Just look at Violet's arc here. It's incredible. She is not the underestimated underdog anymore. In Iron Flame, she grows into a true leader. She's stronger, she's wiser, and she's so much sharper emotionally. And this is a huge deal. She's done being a pawn. Now she's actively trying to tear down the system of lies holding her world together.
And Xaden, wow, he becomes so much more complex. We get to see past that powerful, charismatic front to the guy underneath who is just wrestling with these huge internal conflicts. He's torn between his loyalty to the rebellion and his terror of losing Violet, all while carrying this impossible weight of his secrets. It just adds so much depth to his character.
And hey, it's not just about the main romance. The supporting cast, characters like Rhiannon and the dragon Arandarna, they step into the spotlight so much more. These friendships are the emotional anchor in the middle of all the chaos, really building on that powerful theme of found family.
This all brings us to the thematic heart of the book. We've talked about the plot and the characters, but the why, the big ideas driving the story, that's what makes it stick with you.
The book is constantly forcing us to ask this question. It really digs into the dangerous fallout of a government that twists history for the greater good, deciding what its people are and are not allowed to know.
And that leads you right into the next moral minefield. The story pushes every single character to their breaking point, forcing them, and us, the readers, to ask if lies, even ones told with good intentions, can ever really be justified when the cost gets this high.
Ultimately, though, this is the book's most explosive question. As Violet starts digging up the truth, she becomes a direct threat to the entire power structure. It's this powerful look at how oppressive systems will do absolutely anything to keep control when the truth starts to come out.
So, with all that said, the expanded world, the deeper characters, these powerful themes, what's the final verdict? Does Iron Flame actually live up to all the hype?
Okay, let's break it down. The strengths are just massive. You've got brilliant world building, really deep character growth, and this addictive cinematic writing style that makes it impossible to put down. And the twists, genuinely shocking. Now, on the other hand, some fair critiques are that the pacing can feel overwhelmingly fast sometimes. And yeah, the romance does lean on that miscommunication trope, but honestly, those feel like pretty minor gripes in the grand scheme of things.
And that brings us to the final score from the critical analysis, a stunning 9.3 out of 10. It's an exceptional sequel that gives fans everything they were hoping for, and then a whole lot more.
In the end, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Iron Flame is a masterful sequel. It's darker, it's richer, and it's way more intense than the first book. And yes, that ending is going to leave you with a million more questions than answers. But that's kind of the point. It doesn't just set up the next book, it makes you desperate for it. And really, what more can you ask of a blockbuster sequel?